Hey guys, working on a Volkswagen Mk1. This is going to be the Cabriolet, Rabbit, Golf, and many others, guys. So in this particular video, we are working on the diesel engine, but this is the same on the non-diesel engines, basically. It's almost identical. So this is the right video for you, but specifically working on a 1982 Volkswagen Rabbit Diesel. Let's get into this ultra detailed video right away, guys. In this video, we're also gonna cover the thermostat housing. Okay, now let's get into it. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do, guys, is you have to disconnect your battery. That is step number one. I am restoring this whole entire car, guys, start to finish on a series, but in your case, so you're gonna disconnect your battery. That's step number one. All right, guys, so your battery is disconnected. So now, as you can see, I do not have a radiator. Mine has already been removed. You do not need to remove your radiator for this process. But, so the next thing you would do, guys, is you would disconnect the bottom radiator hose and let all the coolant out. Pretty straightforward. You remove the clamp, slide the hose off, all the coolant comes out. So that would be your next move to remove the water pump. Okay, so once your coolant is drained, next, guys, we need to remove the alternator. That is your next move. I will show you in detail how to do that right now. All right, so you'll notice on the alternator, there is a plug. So we're gonna unplug it. Okay, I'm gonna unplug this one off camera. Also, anything you unplug, you label it alternator, so you know how it goes back on. And then there's a second plug right here. So what you got to do is spray a little WD-40 on this if it's rusted. And that is an 8mm. You're going to remove this just enough to get this off. This protects the plug from coming off. Pretty straightforward. So let me do that right now. See you guys in a minute. Okay, so look, I got it unplugged. See, very, very simple. See, this just moved out of the way. And this unplugged. So now you'll notice, look at all that corrosion in there. See that? So we are going to be cleaning all the corrosion before we just plug it into the new alternator. This other plug, also pretty corroded, and so it is in there. So we will get to that later in the video. Okay, next. There's a bolt here. You're going to remove this nut here. And on this side, it is an Allen key. See, I apologize for the focus or lack of it. So you put an Allen key in there to prevent it from spinning, and I believe that's a 13mm. Okay, so I'm gonna loosen this. See you guys in a minute. All right, got that nut off. A couple little love taps. So this, I mean, you could even take it out right now, but see, look. But I'm gonna leave it in a little bit because we gotta go underneath and take some other stuff off. See, so we're going like this, and I'm flipping around, and check it out. So there's the alternator, right? So now you have, right here, you got a nut and a bolt. So you're gonna have to hold it on one side and loosen it on this side. In my case, it's a 1/2 inch for some reason. It should be a 13, but it's a 1/2 inch. Maybe somebody changed it. And then there's also another one over here, look. So this one stays on its own. It's like a square and it won't spin. And here you got a 13. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna loosen this 13. The second you do that, the alternator is gonna be free basically. And it'll move and you'll be able to pull the belt off. But you're also gonna remove, like you're gonna loosen this and then you're gonna remove this completely. And then you'll be able to take the alternator right out. Okay, I'm gonna do that right now. Pretty straightforward. All right, so I removed that nut and bolt. See, so now the only thing holding the alternator is that top bolt, which is right there, which I haven't taken out yet. See, this moves now. You can remove the belt very easily. Okay, I'm gonna go up top. All right, so now up here, all I gotta do is pull this out, wiggle it around, and this will come right out. I'm just gonna do that off camera because I need both my hands. All right, alternator is out. Moving on to the water pump. Okay, so what they want us to do now is This whole entire, see, let me get in here. This whole entire bracket needs to come out, see? The alternator bracket needs to be removed. Okay, I will show you guys exactly how to do that. It is very, very easy. See you guys in a minute. Okay guys, before we do the bracket, I did forget to mention one thing. So there is a timing belt cover. They do look a little bit different depending if it's a diesel or not. See, this is a diesel fuel pump here, right? Anyways, so obviously you got to remove this. I will be doing the timing belt probably in the next episode because as you can see, look how skinny the timing belt is. Because a lot of times what happens, you can even tell on this one, look, the timing belt was rubbing. See right there, right there. A lot of guys, like this is gonna be a summer car obviously, so I'm not even gonna be putting this back on. But anyways, very simple, you just remove this. You got a bolt there, there's one at the back, and then this just comes off. So you do have to remove this to change the water pump. So there it is off. Okay, so now if you are working on a diesel, okay, so what you want to do is we're going to remove this bolt. But you don't want to remove this. You just want to leave, like you want to leave this alone. You want this to be exactly where it is. So then when we put the bracket back on, this never moved. See, this is also attached over here by a bolt. So all we're going to do is remove this bolt. You're going to have to get in there with a wrench because it is a little tight, as you can see. Spray WD-40 all over it, see underneath. It is welded, so you don't have to hold it underneath. And I'm going to remove this first. So see you guys in a minute. And if it doesn't want to come out, unscrew it a little bit. Spray WD-40 on it. Then screw it back in. Then screw it back out a little bit more. WD-40 again. In, out, in, out. You do not want to break this bolt, guys. So that is the trick. Okay, I'm pulling this out now. See, just like this. And it is a 1/2 inch. So for some reason, it's a 1/2 inch and not a 13 mil. Fits very nice. Okay, you guys got this, right? Yeah, see? So it's going pretty good. Okay, see you guys in a few minutes. All right, so I got that top bolt off. Okay, so now, before we start removing anything, you might as well, we gotta get this pulley off. So now is the time while this is still attached to the motor. So I'm gonna show you a trick of how to do that. All right, I'm gonna show you how to pull it off. So in this particular car, it is an Allen key size 6. So you're gonna need 2 of these. 1, 2, right? So what you wanna do is, you wanna stick it in here. You wanna get 2 of them in. 1, 2, just like that. You also wanna get a hammer. You wanna make sure they're all the way in so you don't strip them. All the way in. Okay, there it is. So now you're gonna need 2 ratchets. You're gonna need a medium-sized ratchet like this, and you're also gonna need a really big one with an adapter to downsize it. So all we're gonna do is you're gonna stick this in here. And I mean, you could hold it with your hands, or in our case, see, it's just gonna pry up against the car here. Go like this. See? And we're gonna grab the other ratchet. So you put it in here. Okay, you guys ready? Watch this. There. You just kind of play them against each other. So you can completely remove this one, or not completely, but remove it a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing on the next bolt. Let me set that up. Okay, next one is set up. Same thing, ready? All right, broke that one. Okay, so now you got one left that's tight. Okay, let me pull these out and show you what's next. Okay, so this one's loose, that one's tight. So all you're gonna do now is retighten this one. You already broke it loose, so it's gonna be easier now. So you tighten this one by hand, like just by holding the wheel, or the pulley, I mean, see? I'm using one hand here, but tighten it, there you go. Okay, so now you're gonna grab your big ratchet and you're gonna stick it in the one you just hand tightened, right? Which is this one. And then we're gonna try to do the same thing there. Okay, let me set it up. Okay, it is set up. So yeah, when I mean hand tightened, I mean you tighten it with the ratchet as much as you could, holding this with your hand, right? Okay, so now we're gonna try to break this one. Ready? There, so we broke that one, see? So now the last one, it did tighten a little bit more, but now we should be able to hold this with our hand and loosen that because it was already broken. Let me try it. Okay, ready? Okay, it doesn't want to go. So now you just play it back and forth like that. So we're gonna do it again. We'll tighten this one this time. Okay, ready? It's gonna eventually happen where you'll be able to get them all off. It's a game of removing nuts with 2 ratchets. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so I got that one out. Now, can I get this one out? There. Apologize if you didn't see the whole process there, but that is the trick, guys. There's other tricks, but this one works very well. And when you're tightening them, just do the exact same thing. And that is it. Okay, we got them all. Okay, all of those are off. So now WD-40. Want to get in there. Get a hammer very gently because you don't want to bend it. Very, very gently. It's coming, it's moving. Okay, there it is. So that's how it was installed, this side inwards. Okay, moving on. All right, so the pulley is off. So now we got 4 bolts. They are 1/2 inch for some reason. 1/2 inch, all of them. This one, then you got one there, and see there's one there. You'll have to use like a couple long extensions to get to it. Pretty straightforward, right? I think so. Okay, so we're gonna remove, I'm just gonna remove all 4 of those. I mean, there's nothing really to it, guys. Okay, and then if you're working on a cabriolet, like with a gasoline engine, there is a little situation here with like a side shield that goes through here, because I'm also working on this one here. This is like a GTI cabriolet. So I got a detailed video on the water pump on this one. I did put the project on hold because I restored a Jeep, and now I'm restoring that one, and then I'm going back to this one. So check out my channel, guys, subscribe, and you will see playlists on all of these, guys. Literally every video that you can imagine. Okay, I'm removing those 4 bolts. Okay, this is important. So see, that's how I got that one out with a long extension. So that one there is this one. They are different lengths, so that's why I'm showing you guys. I'll show you which lengths they are. Okay, so now, see, that one there is a little tougher. You can't get in there with a ratchet, so you actually have to use a wrench, which is a little tough. See? So I'll get in there with both my hands and wrench that one out. Another thing you could do is use one of these. See, and then you can get in there with a ratchet. So I might do that if the wrench doesn't work. Okay, see you guys in a minute. Okay, so in the end, that worked the best. See? Okay, so I'll remove the rest of them, which is pretty straightforward. See you guys in a minute. All right, so I got all the bolts out. Now watch this. Look, this whole thing, boom, just come right off. Don't go off the video yet, guys. We got lots to do here to do this properly so it doesn't leak. We're gonna clean the inside of the block out, because look at that. Okay, let me pull this out, lay it out. I'll show you the bolts. Okay, there's the car. This is the way it sat in the car. So I'll show you the length of the bolts. They are all different. So we got these two here. Boom. Boom. So those two are the same lengths. This one is that length. And the last one, okay, hang on, let me put the phone down and get it out. Okay, so there you go. That's what those look like. And that's what those look like. They all stick out the same amount, so in case, I don't know, you lost your bolts or something, they stick out exactly the same amount. See, they stick out about that much. Here's my finger. About the thickness of my finger, they all stick out. Okay, so anyways, so what we're gonna do now is this alternator bracket, I'm gonna clean it and I'm gonna repaint it black so it looks nice. That is irrelevant to this video, but that is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna do that right now. See you guys. I'll show you guys when it's done. And then we're moving on to in here. There's lots we gotta do here. You don't just slap it on like that. It will leak. And we're gonna clean all the gunk out of it. Okay, see you guys in a few minutes. All right, here we have both the pumps side by side. So yes, you can buy just this part of the pump and then you reuse this. Honestly, I don't know why anybody would do it that way. If you can get the whole thing for a couple bucks more, that way everything's brand new. So obviously we got a thermostat. I will show you how to assemble this. And see this bottom piece, you could reuse this one, but same thing. There's gonna be corrosion and everything in it. So I got a new one. The new ones are plastic. Shouldn't be an issue. But we are gonna have to reuse the bolts from here. And also I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna label it just in case. Then I have a nice aluminum one. Also, there's one bolt, see right here. We're gonna have to transplant this to here. And from what I remember on the White Rabbit, you have to remove this and pull this whole thing back, like basically pull this out to get this out, because there was like a metal plate on the side and it went through that, and that was the one thing. But I don't see it on the diesel, so either somebody removed it long ago or the diesel doesn't have it. Not too sure. Anyways, okay, so what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna get a garden hose. I got a garden hose. I got like a sprayer end on it. I have to change this hose anyways because this was leaking oil and this hose is super soft. So I'm gonna disconnect it here. I'm gonna stick the garden hose in and we're gonna clean everything out of this. Because there's gonna be crap in there. Should have seen how much crap there was in the White Rabbit. This thing's been sitting for a while now. We gotta get it running, boys and girls. Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect that and I'll show you what comes out. Okay, so I changed this thing, the oil pressure sensor. It looks a little different than the original one, but I believe that is the correct one. We'll know later. Stay tuned to the series. Okay, so this, see where I disconnected the hose? Look at all that corrosion. So you can't just put a new hose on there, it will leak. So you gotta get some sandpaper like this, and you gotta clean this thing perfect. Like wrap it around, clean it really good. So we're gonna clean this one. Look at this one for the upper hose. I'm gonna clean this one. I'm also gonna clean that one. Which, careful, because this gets electrified with a positive. That's for the glow plugs. So make sure this doesn't touch the clamp or something. The car is negative, this is positive, so it will short out. Anyways, so I'm gonna clean all those with the sandpaper. See you guys in a few minutes. Okay, got that cleaned, got that cleaned. That one was a little tough. You might feel like, oh, I'm gonna unscrew this. It's risky. You could break your glow plugs that way and then you got to replace them. So I'm trying not to touch any of this. Remember, if this coating is off, make sure this doesn't touch any of the metal anywhere. Check that. Okay, anyways, so obviously I'm going to spray all the dust off and that, but I'm going to spray in this hole. Let's see what comes out. You guys ready? It might be decent because I mean this car was running at one point when I got it. Okay, got that in there. See what happens. Not bad actually. Not bad at all. Okay, make sure there's no extension cords or anything around. Okay, I'll do that for like a minute, and yeah, that wasn't bad. The white one, you should have seen all the rust and gunk that came out. Okay, see you guys in a minute. All right, everything's nice and clean. Okay, so one thing I did forget to mention and do is this hose here. See, that's the one that runs here. Especially since we disconnected it, right? Like you might have not even disconnected any of these in your case. So obviously I'm gonna clean this really good. Same method with sandpaper. And then we're moving on to this, guys. We're gonna start getting this all prepped up. All right, nice and clean. I might even change that whole thing because it's pretty rusty looking, but not in this video anyways. If I change it, I'll change it later. Okay, so moving on to this. Get yourself a nice, brand new, clean razor blade. And you're gonna get in there. And you're gonna scrape all the old, junky stuff off. Start with that. See, just like that. And you're gonna go nice and flat like this. So you want the whole thing to look like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. See? And then we're gonna dry it. I need it to be dry. And see these holes for the screws? Spray some brake cleaner in there. Get some compressed air. Psh, psh. Spray them out. Make sure it's all gone. Wear safety goggles so it doesn't squirt you in the face. Okay, so I'll do the whole thing just the way I said. See you guys in 5 minutes. All right, so you check it out. That looks good. It's dry. It's clean, it's degreased. Okay, so now I'm grabbing a piece of 320 grit sandpaper. And you're just gonna go around, because it's not perfectly smooth. I'll do one spot and then I'll do the rest off camera. See, just like that. See, that feels great. So I'm gonna do the whole thing around the whole mating surface. See you guys in 2-3 minutes. After I'm done this, I'm taking the brake cleaner and a rag and I'm gonna wipe it a few times until the paper towel is clean when you wipe it. So there's no grease on it at all. Make sense? I think so. And then we're gonna blow out the holes one more time, give it a wipe with brake cleaner or carb cleaner, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, see you guys in a few minutes. All right, so that is ready. Okay, so now we're gonna go over to this thing. So there's two things, right? One, I took out this bolt. Every bolt, I cleaned it with that, so it's nice and clean. I am gonna put anti-seize on it because these tend to rust. So that's gonna go in there. And then that's gonna go in there. Just the way it was on the other one. Makes sense, right? So that's one thing. The second thing is I grabbed a 10 mil and a little ratchet in every single one of these bolts. You want to check them. You don't know if the guy working at the factory did it right, but I snugged every single one up just a tiny bit. Like, look how little. See, they put the line there. See, so do that at your own risk. I'm not telling you to do that, but I like to check things because you don't know who was working that day. So every single one of them went a tiny bit over. Like, I had a nice feel for bolts. I have a nice feel for bolts, and I could just feel, you know, it literally went like that much, and it was like perfect. Okay, and then as far as this thing goes, so I'm gonna remove this bolt and that bolt, and I'm gonna clean it with the wire brush as well. So I'll see you in a minute when that's ready. Okay, so I took the two bolts out, right? So this is the order of things here, right? So that comes out. You don't have to use gasket maker like whoever did here before. So you got this, then you got the O-ring, then you got the thermostat. So on the new one, guys, so the only thing is, yes, I much prefer this being aluminum, but it's very corroded. You know what? I'm going to give this one a shot. I got this at Rock Auto. I got this at Rock Auto. Rock Auto, guys, have the best prices for everything. And they have parts for, like, these vehicles, which is awesome. So I'm going to use this one. Okay, so I got a brand new thermostat. So you will notice, right? So what you do is you put the thermostat in, and there's like a little groove there. I don't know if you can see it, but the thermostat, see, look, it fits in there perfect, see? So you put in the thermostat. The thermostat, also from Rock Auto, came with a gasket, and this came with 2 gaskets. They're all the same. I think these ones actually feel better. So you got this, then you got the gasket. Make sure it sits nicely, right? Then we're gonna put this thing, and we're gonna put the 2 bolts with a dab of anti-seize on them because I don't want them to seize or rust. And also, since this is plastic, this is totally my thing, but I got a couple of washers, and I am gonna use a washer on each side. Optional, up to you. If I was using this one, I wouldn't, but I'm gonna give this plastic one a shot. Obviously, I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on here, like so. Tighten the 2 bolts, nice and snug, nice and tight. Don't break them. Always use a small ratchet so you have feel. And I'm not gonna put any. I'm not putting any gasket maker or anything in there like the previous person did. Shouldn't have to with an O-ring. Okay, let me put this together then. Anti-seize. Anti-seize. Great product, guys. Prevents bolts from getting stuck and rusting in the future. All right, I got it on. So I snugged it up all the way down. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run the plastic one in the description of this video in the future. If this ever leaks or bends or warps, I will mention that in the description. And if it works good, I just won't mention it at all. And I'm gonna save this guy for later. Okay, so this is ready to go on. So this basically goes on the same way it came off. Now check this out. I painted the bracket, as you can see. See, just with some paint like this, trim cloth or whatever. Yeah, so look how nice that looks. Way better than it did. And I painted the pulley as well. Why not? Okay, so the way this works is, technically, you should be able to just take the O-ring, put it in here, make sure it fits good. See, like that. And you should just be able to put this on and snug it up. You shouldn't have to use any kind of gasket maker or anything, because it is an O-ring that will be squashed. If you had in here some major imperfections, you could smear some gasket maker on there, you know, and on here and underneath it. But I don't think I'm gonna, because I feel pretty confident that there's nothing wrong there, and I feel pretty confident that this is smooth enough and clean, and so I don't think I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna put this on and put in all the bolts with a dab of anti-seize on them as well, so they don't get stuck in the future. Okay, guys. Okay, I got this book here. I also have another book. It's hard to understand what they're saying here. I honestly can't figure out if I should be using gasket maker or not. So anyways, I got some gasket maker from Napa, high temp, oil resistant gasket maker, silicone, which is what they're saying. Like, they're saying to use it on this part if you get the pump where this comes off, and then they're being unclear about the O-ring part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the O-ring and I'm gonna fill this with the sealant, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of sealant on top just in case. And I'm gonna remove this and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Honestly, I don't know. It should be fine without it, but I guess it's not gonna hurt it. So I'll do that. Okay, see, just over top of the O-ring like that. That is what I did because the book's unclear. I love these books, these Haynes manuals, but sometimes it's a little unclear. And yeah, I'm using it for educational purposes. Okay, put that on and let's move on. All right, so that's on. So now, over here, so I took out the O-ring. Whatever, it's not gonna hurt it. Fill in this gap. Put this in. Yeah, that works. Whatever. Do one of these. Wipe some of it away on the inside here. Okay, let's go put it on the car. Okay, so I went to put it on. I'm just recording this so you guys know. So I went to put it on, and the problem is, I guess this thing's too low. Remember that first bolt we took out? So I'm actually gonna remove this one, and I'm gonna get rid of this so I can attach that, and then I'll put this back after. This shouldn't move, the fuel pump, at all, actually. So I'm gonna remove that right now, really quick. All right, check it out. It is on. Don't go off the video yet, guys. I noticed something I'm gonna address to you guys in a minute. But, okay, so everything's tight. So put everything nice and tight, obviously snug it up. Okay, next I'm gonna put the pulley on. I'm gonna put anti-seize on it, put the pulley on, put anti-seize on the bolts. So there's no issues in the future. I'll tighten them up the same way I took them off. Okay, so let me do that and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. And then I will tell you what's going on because I actually noticed something crazy here. So I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so I was working them against each other and it's not really working. Anyways, so take a really, really long screwdriver so you can put it right in here. Like so. Pry it up against something like this. See? It's in there. That will prevent it from spinning. And then should be able to snug these up one by one. That's one way. You could use a smaller screwdriver. If yours doesn't fit, so you gotta get in there. You could pry it up against here like so. And then tighten these up. All right, well, that totally worked. Okay, so these are snugged up. Let's move on. All right, pulley's on, everything's looking good. Okay, so now this is what I noticed. So this is the original one. So I guess this is a later or an earlier model pump, and that is a later model pump, which I didn't notice when I had these out. But see, these two, this one's bigger, this one's smaller. So that's one. And two, see, they're lined up one directly under the other. And on this other pump, look. So those are the same size, first of all. And you'll notice, see, the bottom one is like a little bit to the left over. Okay, so I looked in the White Rabbit, what the heck's going on. And in the White Rabbit, see, like in the diesel, this just runs to this, and that's it. In the White Rabbit, so the GTI, there's like an L here, and then it goes up, and then there's like a cooler for the oil or whatever. So this doesn't have that. So anyway, so technically, there's two things you could do. One, just buy the half side of the pump, right? And then take this all apart, clean everything up, sand it. Unfortunately, I didn't do that in this video, so that might not help you. And reuse the old part here. So that would be number one. But two, I already tried this out and I can actually use this. It will work. Check it out. So the guy that I purchased the car off of, he cut all the hoses because he thought this was going to the junkyard. So he cut the hoses so all the fluid would drain out. But anyway, so I bought a new hose for it. See, it's like thicker and skinnier. So this is the original for the Diesel Rabbit. Here's some part numbers that might help you. Okay, try my best here. Anyways, so I put Vaseline on this. I put Vaseline on that. So you can actually stretch it on there, and then you can put it on there, and it just goes over a little bit, but it doesn't kink or anything, so it's still usable. So no big deal. So it is usable. Okay, so I'm gonna install this. This one goes to the bottom here. I'm gonna install that, put all the clamps on. I gotta put on the radiator. I think I'm gonna wrap this video up, guys. If you wanna see the alternator go on and the belt and get tightened and all that, check out the alternator video in the series. Click on the playlist up here for a complete restoration of this awesome Rabbit that I'm turning into a rat rod. So thanks for watching, guys. Till next time, please subscribe to this amazing channel.